Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my review of Xuan Yuan Sword Mist Beyond the Mountains. This is not a normal review per se because I'm not going to give it a review score, purely for the fact that I haven't completed the game as of yet, but stay with me, okay? It's December, it's the Christmas period, it's the craziest time of the year for content creators, so I haven't been able to focus on completing the game. And normally I wouldn't bother making a video if I didn't complete the game. However, the fact is, I think I love Xuan Yuan Sword 3 and I really want to tell you about it. So while I'm not going to give it a review score because who knows where the game goes in the second half, the fact is this is a sort of game I'm personally very passionate about and I think it deserves some attention. So I've made this video regardless of whether you care about my opinion. But before we get into it, if you like retro RPGs like this one, then check out my other channel, A Bit More Jordan. You'll find a lot more me over there, and yeah, a lot more RPGs, like 3-hour videos about Skies of Arcadia and Suikoden and stuff like that. But anyways, this video, Xuan Yuan Sword is a legendary RPG series from Taiwan, alongside its sister series Sword and Fairy. They are both from the same company, Softstar. In terms of being popular in those regions, they are in the same breath as Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest are to us. They were huge games and they still make them today, once in a while. Mist Beyond the Mountains is the third game in the series that was released on PC in 1999, which may surprise you looking at it, but they hardly had the budget of Square Enix. This is your classic RPG style game with a world-spanning adventure that mixes reality with myth, and I think it's great. You are a Frankish knight of mysterious origins, and you are sent to Venice to investigate what is essentially a crusade almost, with religious warriors burning heretics at the stake. But you ain't just staying in northern Italy. Forget Journey to the West, this is Journey to the East, as you travel to vastly different areas of the world and get involved with big twists and turns. I love the infusion of real-life elements since that's rarely touched upon in fantasy settings, and it's not afraid to touch on subjects that might be a little bit uncomfortable like racism and seeing contradiction of religions and stuff. So it's got some really nice things going for it, something a bit different, something you don't see often, especially this day and age. I love the pre-rendered backgrounds. If I was in charge of the world, I'd make damn sure every single game needs to use pre-rendered backgrounds, even when they're a little bit ropey. It doesn't give the best first impression when you hit the streets of Venice and the road kinda looks like a car crash AI upscaling mistake, but I don't know if that's true, but it's really the only occasional unsightly part of the game because everything else looks absolutely fabulous. It's most certainly nostalgia, and you guys probably think I'm crazy, but I am comfortable being the crazy guy. It's not only the backgrounds. After being initially undecided about the battle visuals, I did grow to like them a lot too. There's like a tapestry feeling, or something reminds me of a bit like Broken Sword, I don't know why. In fact, some of the music also reminds me of Broken Sword, with a tinge of Tomb Raider in the mystery parts of it. I just think the presentation is great. The voice samples used in the battle are not great. I get that they found them on a 20-year-old hard drive after being put in a blender, but still, those could use some work. This is like a proper old-school JRPG. It feels like it should have been on the PS1, and it's sad that it wasn't. I mean, this should have been standing side by side with the likes of Saga Frontier, Legend of Legia, and the like, and it'd have been perfect. It would not have looked out of place. But the gameplay, okay? The environments are smallish, but really quite packed. Dungeons are long and there are plenty of puzzles. Even some brain teasers that modern developers would faint over. I mean, making the player do logical math puzzles? That's offensive, guys. Where's my way marker? Where's my pop-ups basically telling me the answer? You mean I have to work out stuff for myself? What's going on? And there are lots of side quests alongside the main storyline. I advise doing them because you can get some pretty sweet equipment that will help you out a lot. I mean, almost instantly there are side dungeons and the like, and it is really generous with content. The battle system is active time battle, and you have your standard attacks, your magic and things like that. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary in these terms. In fact, the random encounters, at least up to where I've played so far, are seemingly quite easy. Boss battles are a whole other story though. Squeaky bum time! And from what I've heard talking to a fellow game reviewer who did have the time to dedicate to this game, they can get really painful later on, which sounds great. But the big interesting thing about this is the good old monster catching goodness. Oh yeah, if you weaken an enemy enough, you can then capture them in your fusion pot, which you can then do a few things with them. Firstly, you can equip them to your character to boost their stats. Reminds me a bit of Final Fantasy VIII in that regard with the magic. Or you can whip them out in battle. They have their own active time meter that builds up, and they can do like a general attack. So far nothing that can catastrophically show the enemy who's boss, but a little help nonetheless. And they stay out the whole time. You can have 2 out at once and even switch them out for different monsters if the one you took out wasn't doing the business for you. I really like this aspect, you know, it's a little bit like one of the earlier Dragon Quest games. And even then you can do something else. You can Shin Megami Tensei fuse them together to create newer monsters or even useful items like equipment. This game is a fusion pot in of itself, taking elements from different games, fusing them together with its compelling story, generous content, nice presentation, and all-round epic vibe. I really like this game a lot. I think it's fantastic. If I were a publisher, if I was a billionaire or even just a millionaire, I tell you, I would bring these Eastern gems over to Western audiences, translating and porting them. There are so many games we missed out on. East Asia Soft, okay? You better do the entire series within the next couple of years, and if you don't, I will. I just need some money first. And also, come on, where's the physical release? It's only available digitally for the time being for the price of $15 US, and that is a very good price. And usually these days I only cover physical releases since that's what I'm passionate about, but I am hoping East Asia Soft feel my passion. Also known as begging, please for the love of God stick this on the cartridge, hopefully with a little patch, because the game did crash a couple of times so far. Annoying, but not a big deal since there is a nice little autosave feature like every 5 seconds or something, but still it would be nice to have a perfect product. As I said, I'm not giving this a review score because I probably only got about halfway through, maybe even less. But if and when I have more free time, I genuinely can't wait to be able to finish this off because it's got everything I like about classic JRPGs. It's got the incredibly solid gameplay, love the monster capturing, it's got tough bosses that need tactical thought, it's got a great story with dialogue that's not diluted for modern audiences. I'm fascinated where this is going to go, and it's a proper adventure that looks great. I love the presentation, aside from a couple of small nitpicks, and I think it's great the West can finally enjoy this in English and on a home console. I really hope it's a success. Alright, if this video was useful to you, hit that subscribe button, and maybe even check out my other channel, A Bit More Jordan. If you like retro JRPGs, I talk about Suikoden 2 for 3 hours, Skies of Arcadia 3 hours, As Your Dreams 2.5 hours, fully scripted content, throwing in a couple of gags to make sure you stay awake. I mean, you definitely will be awake because it's good. I think you'll like it. And who knows, maybe I will do a retrospective on this game, on the Xuan Yuan Sword series, when I eventually finish it and the others come in English. Yeah. Also, check out more stuff here because SwitchWatch is also good as well. Have a good day, guys.